Hey, this is John at BibleProject. Are you ready to step inside a BibleProject video? We're excited about how virtual reality and augmented reality are tools that could help us experience the Bible as a unified story that leads to Jesus. And this is our first experiment with those tools. If you're on a computer or a phone, you can watch this in full 360. If you have access to a headset, you can have a fully immersive experience. To follow along on what's next, go to BibleProject.com/VR. And without further ado, here is Last Week of a King.
Now, when Jesus rode into Jerusalem, he knew that it would be the last week of his life. And so he rode in on a donkey while the crowds were singing, "Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord."
Why all the royal treatment?
So Israel's ancient prophets promised that one day God himself would arrive to rescue his people and to rule the world.
So Jesus is activating all these hopes. He is that king, and everyone's ecstatic.
Well, not everybody. The religious leaders think Jesus is a threat to their power, and so they're not happy. But even more striking, Jesus himself is distraught. He is actually weeping as he rides.
Why is he sad?
Well, he can see what's coming. Jesus knows that he won't be accepted as Israel's king, and he knows that his people will continue down a destructive path, neglecting the poor, stirring up rebellion against their Roman oppressors, and he knows that it's all going to lead to his death, and it breaks his heart.
It breaks his heart, and it riles him up. The first thing he does in the temple courts of Jerusalem is drive out all the money changers and disrupt the entire sacrificial system.
Jesus stages this moment as a prophetic protest. He stands in the center of the temple courtyard, shouting out the words of Israel's ancient prophets.
It is written, "My house will be a house of prayer." But you have made it a den of rebels.
He's quoting from the prophet Jeremiah, who stood in this same spot at the center of religious and political power in Israel. And he offered the same critique of Israel's leaders, that they're rebellious and corrupt.
And they get the message and start planning to have him killed.
And this is no surprise to Jesus. In fact, he planned that all of this would happen during Passover.
Passover is the Holy Week, when the Jewish people celebrate the ancient story of how God liberated them from slavery and invited them into a covenant relationship with him. I have eagerly desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. For I tell you, I will not eat it again until it finds fulfillment in the kingdom of God.
Jesus knows that the way he will become king is by dying. But his disciples have yet to fully understand this. And so Jesus uses symbols of the liberation from slavery, which Passover celebrates, to reveal the meaning of his coming death.
This is my body, given to you. Do this in remembrance of me.
And he says the wine is his blood, that's going to establish a new covenant relationship between God and Israel. Jesus is going to die for his people to open up a new way forward.
This cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is poured out for you. So Jesus isn't going to become king by asserting his own power.
No, he's going to become king by an act of self-giving love. He offers his life as a gift that's like food that will sustain his people and invite them into a whole new kind of life.